Hi everyone. From the Intimate Apparel, we know that on one hand, this play tells us the story of Esther, the African American black heroine who is ambitious to become the senior tailor in New York. On the other hand, it is with the heroine's emotional experiences. What struck me most was that Esther did not lose hope too passively in her marriage, but went back to where she used to live and continued her career as a tailor. As a black tailor, Esther is deeply aware of what it takes to finding a living in New York, so her values are inclusive with races, and she sells the finest and the most decadent intimate apparel for customers who span from all of the social classes, which is a really hardworking woman with the dream of saving enough money to open her own beauty parlor. Um, Mrs. Dickinson provides shelter and food for Esther. She also lends Esther advice on her designs, and the mystery man Esther has been exchanging letters with. When Esther leaves Mrs. Dickinson home to start her life with George, Mrs. Dickinson still communicates and take care of her. After marriage fails, Mrs. Dickinson welcomes Esther back into her home, and her ability to accept Esther back into her home reveals the tenacity and the determination to provide a dependable and comfortable life for Esther. And in Notage's intimate apparel display first expand the New York's attitude towards the races, religions, and different social classes in 1905. People from all over the U.S. who have moved to the city for seek their fortunes, excitement, or any changes of life. On the one hand, people yearn for independence, and on the other hand, they also yearn for recognition and connection from other people. The same is true of the Taylor's career and the feeling of love in this play. This play works through a reinforce of effects of the racism and classism, also our stereotype of African American. Of course, stereotype still exists today, which is more than African Americans or black people, yellow people, white people. Because of the uneven distribution of resources and different levels of education, those problems have persisted and even deepened among some ethnic groups. All we can do is to avoiding the contradictions and be tolerant as much as possible. When Esther received the letter from the man named George, who is digging a canal in far off Panama, she thinks she might find her true love. My question is, when you feel that someone who you do not quite familiar with was your true love, will you respond to that kind of letter? And the second question is, and do you have any biases when you attach to people from other races?